Welcome to Jari Caribbean, a place where together we explore the rich cultures of the Caribbean, mouth-watering Caribbean recipes, the tropical, adventurous Caribbean lifestyle, plus the natural beauty of the region as we discover and explore amazing travel destinations from one island to the next every week. Please like and subscribe to our channel for more exquisite content. Click the notification bell to receive future posts. And watch this video to the end for a special bonus. This week, we're going to review 11 things you need to know before traveling to the Caribbean during the COVID-19 pandemic. The unfolding of the COVID-19 crisis has caused a major fall in tourism activity around the world, but especially in Latin America and the Caribbean. Tourism is a key generator of foreign exchange across the Caribbean region. However, from April 2020 to now, tourism in the Caribbean has come to a partial standstill as a result of the coronavirus disease, COVID-19 pandemic. However, most islands are now open, but with various requirements and restrictions to which you need to adhere. You've been yearning for a sunny, tropical beach vacation with clear blue skies and sand between your toes for a long time. But your travel plans have been put on pause because of this whole pandemic. The good news is that it's easier now than at any time since the pandemic began to wander off to the Caribbean and enjoy all the magic these paradises of the region have to offer. Several islands have adopted two-track entry regulations for vaccinated and unvaccinated travelers. Therefore, it is important to know the latest developments before you travel. It's recommended that you visit the country's tourism website for the island in question and carefully review the entry requirements for visitors. So, sit back and relax while we go over 11 of the most important facts you'll need to know before booking your dream vacation in the Caribbean. Number 1. Do your research and check in of COVID-19 restrictions. The first thing you need to keep in mind is that there are 13 independent island countries within the Caribbean, plus several overseas territories, and all have COVID-19 quarantines, vaccines, and testing requirements that differ from one country to the next. And on top of that, from one day to the next with the ever-changing COVID variants. Additional restrictions also exist for different countries of origin and their differing degrees of COVID-19 infection rates. Some islands require quarantine regardless of your vaccination status, while others do not require a COVID-19 test at all. Depending on your nation of origin, the rules may be different. So, it is recommended to first check with your local travel agent or the island's tourism website of the particular island different travel options and requirements regarding COVID-19. Visitors from low-risk countries, mainly CARICOM countries, are required to take a COVID-19 rapid test upon arrival. Those from medium-risk countries, Canada, European Union, and United Kingdom, are required to provide negative PCR tests 7 days before departure and take a rapid test upon arrival. Visitors from high-risk countries with active spread of transmission, must provide a negative PCR test 7 days before departure, take another PCR test upon arrival, and remain in quarantine until negative tests are returned. Number 2. Check-in visa requirements. Similarly, COVID-19 travel visas also differ based on your country of origin. This would be another job for your local, trusted travel agent, or check your island's tourism website. You will be informed of what special visas or COVID travel documents, if any, are required to travel to the Caribbean island of your choice from the country of origin on your passport. Additionally, it's helpful to understand the protocols in place if you do contract COVID-19 during your travels. Some islands like Jamaica have implemented the COVID travel insurance program, Jamaica Cares, which is a mandatory travel insurance program for all visitors to the country. Launched in mid-November of 2020, This fee is expected to cost around $40 to $50 per person. It will also cover a list of specific concerns, including medical treatment for COVID-19, should you contract the virus and need medical care while traveling to the island. Number 3. Travel insurance. Be sure to check with your private healthcare providers what your COVID-19 travel insurance is. Some companies offer travel insurance while others do not. They may also differ in coverage based on where you're going. If you're going to a highly infected region, travel insurance might be lessened or void entirely. There are multiple travel insurance options to look at, so make sure to check this out. This is a preventative measure that you can take to ease your mind that you will be taken care of in the case of emergency situations. Number 4. Upon arrival, proof of negative COVID test. Most Caribbean countries require proof of a negative PCR-2 test for COVID-19 taken within a few days of travel and subject visitors to temperature checks and other health screenings upon arrival. All Caribbean countries have implemented health measures for the population, such as wearing masks in public spaces, including airports, and ensuring social distancing and reopening of hotels that have had to implement sanitation and health and safety protocols to keep guests and staff safe. Caribbean countries have also employed different methods to keep tourists away from residents. These Caribbean countries have implemented a variety of safety protocols to contain the spread of COVID-19 following their reopening. Number 5. The vaccinated. According to local Caribbean authorities, the number one way to eliminate stress while planning your dream vacation and traveling to the Caribbean region during COVID-19 is to get vaccinated. As with visas, vaccination requirements differ, with some countries requiring you to quarantine even with vaccinations. But to avoid a guaranteed quarantine and a seamless transition from busy to bliss, recommendations are to get vaccinated. The global rollout of vaccines for COVID-19 has caused much adjustment to the protocols for visitors. In most islands, fully vaccinated visitors are no longer required to be confined to their accommodations. With a pass or ID provided by a local Ministry of Health at the airport, fully vaccinated visitors can freely roam the island, provided that they present a negative PCR test or antigen test upon arrival. In some islands, such as Barbados and Grenada, fully vaccinated visitors would still need to be tested on arrival and quarantined until they receive their results. Number 6. Packing COVID-19 essentials and being prepared to quarantine. Other than your usual packing list, clothes, toiletries, and everything else in between, there are some COVID-19 essentials to bring along the way. Yet again, if ease of travel is what you are hoping for, you need to keep 3-layer fabric masks and hand sanitizers on hand wherever you go. It is recommended to pack enough for a quarantine, even if you aren't already required to quarantine. Being prepared for this with all essentials will relax you even further, knowing you are prepared and are free to enjoy your holiday even if you were to contract the virus. Should a visitor test positive during their stay, some islands require that they are isolated within their hotel rooms at their own cost for 7 to 14 days. This period varies per country. It is recommended that you are prepared financially for such an emergency. After the period has passed, another test will be taken to prove recovery before the local government discharges individuals with documentation. Alright. So boom, all of your necessities are in order. And now it's time for the fun part of planning your dream vacation. These next few points will help you plan your best COVID-safe vacation to the Caribbean. If you're enjoying this content from Gyro Caribbean, we would appreciate it if you would click the like button and subscribe to our channel. To be notified of our next video, please click the notification bell for our future posts. Number 7. Activities planning. The best way to avoid catching COVID-19 and getting stuck in your room quarantining is to plan your holiday activities with COVID-19 in mind. Finding alternatives for group excursions is a great way to do this. There is so much to explore in the Caribbean with your immediate family. Kayaking, hiking, sightseeing, beaches, etc. You're in the beautiful Caribbean. You don't want to spend your time inside. So, take advantage of the inviting weather and opportunities that wait outside of your accommodation's four walls. Try to plan activities that are outdoors and enforce natural social distancing without you having to even think of it. As if you need another reason to limit your time indoors in this beautiful paradise. Number 8. Curfews and lockdowns. The establishment of curfews and lockdowns vary per island. Review the most current local media for such information before and during your stays. This would affect the amount of time you have to explore the country if you can. It may also affect your accommodation and the quality of service delivered. There have been several reports of visitors who violate or break any mandates or local protocols and were caught by the local authorities. This has placed many locals and other visitors at serious risk of infection, but one of the following may occur. The visitor will be sent to quarantine at a facility or within their hotel room for up to 7 days. The visitor may face fines or jail time locally and on re-entry home. The visitor may be deported out of the island and blacklisted. So here, just to play it safe, stick to the rules. Number 9. Destination planning. There are ways to limit your exposure to COVID-19 by planning your destination to avoid COVID-19 hotspots. With dozens of islands throughout the Caribbean, you are sure to get your dream holiday in the region, while also keeping yourself and your family safe, no matter where you end up. Another tip for destination planning is to limit the exposure with an itinerary with fewer stops. Although a jam-packed holiday while island hopping around the Caribbean sounds amazing, it's not advised to travel multiple destinations during a pandemic. Taking a path less traveled, or in this instance, booking holidays at less popular Caribbean destinations, will provide you with a unique experience, all while avoiding tourists and COVID hotspots. Picking an island that you can explore from ocean to forest with no rush while getting to appreciate every aspect from food to culture sounds brilliant. And it's a fantastic excuse to come back later to explore the other islands. Number 10. Be flexible and stick to pandemic habits. You're traveling to one of the most beautiful settings in the Caribbean. Wherever you go, you will be rewarded with unique and beautiful experiences. So, keep that in mind when planning. It is advised that you are flexible with your destination and activities to avoid disappointment and unnecessary stress if the situation had to change due to the virus taking hold. We've been wearing masks, social distancing, and sanitizing for well over a year now, and traveling is no different. Sticking to pandemic habits is the best way to have a carefree holiday. Number 11. You must have a negative COVID test before you return home. International passengers flying to the United States, Europe, Australia, and other worldwide destinations from the Caribbean islands must show evidence of a negative COVID-19 test taken no more than 72 hours prior to boarding their flight. Airlines will deny you boarding if you do not produce a negative COVID test result. Pre-travel testing is something that many hotels in the Caribbean now offer to their guests. Before traveling, check with your Caribbean resort to see if they offer such a test. So, all of this in the name of fun and a COVID-safe holiday? Yes! So worth it! You've got your prep list now. So, what are you waiting for? Sun-kissed bliss awaits you in the wonders of the Caribbean. Before traveling to any country, research, review, and understand the protocols and requirements implemented. Some of these may be different from your home country, but it is important to respect and follow the laws of the country you intend to visit. Remember that all governments and organizational bodies are trying desperately to help in the global fight against this pandemic. Be a responsible traveler and appreciate all that you can during your travels. Hey, because you stayed to the end, here's your special bonus. The Caribbean weather. To avoid any hurricanes throwing off your idyllic bliss, it is probably best to plan your travels to avoid the hurricane season. The hurricane season lasts from June 1 to November 30th, with the worst parts of the season being mid-August through September. Tips for travelers during this time? Islands in the Caribbean South Tip are less prone to hurricanes than islands closer to North America. The beautiful ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, and Dominican Republic and Barbados are all outside of the Caribbean hurricane belt and are a great alternative if traveling this time of year. Visit jari.com or click the link in the description below to download our latest free Caribbean recipe. Thank you for watching, and remember to like, subscribe, share our channel with others, and turn on the notification bell for our next Caribbean recipe or video as we explore the Caribbean together. Thanks again for watching. Please share your thoughts on the content of this video or suggest topics that you would like to see us cover. See you next week!